Hi, it's Mrs. Price, and today I'm going to show you how to solve a stoichiometry problem. So first, some things to remember. Make sure that your formulas are written correctly and that your equation is balanced, otherwise your numbers will not work out. Always use the units in your problem so you can keep track of where things are, and make sure you check your setup before you start calculating. So step one, we're going to look for the information that is given in the problem. Okay, so I see on the right side of the screen here we have an equation that shows the reaction we're looking at, and the question says how many grams of iridium will react with 465 grams nickel 2 phosphide. So my given information that I'm going to start with is 465 grams of nickel 2 phosphide. Step two, let's figure out what we're trying to find, including our units. So if I go back and I look at the question, it says how many grams of iridium. So I know I'm trying to find the grams of iridium in the problem. Step three, we want to make sure our equation is balanced. So I had to add a few coefficients. You can see in the equation I had to add a 2 in front of iridium, a 3 in front of nickel, and a 2 in front of iridium phosphide. That makes everything balanced. Okay, now we're going to start setting up our problem. So we're going to use our dimensional analysis, and I'm going to start with the 465 grams that was given in the problem, and I'm going to convert that to moles. So on the right side you can see I've used a conversion factor, 1 mole of nickel phosphide over 238.01 grams, and that would be the molar mass of nickel phosphide. All right, next I'm going to go to my balanced equation, and I'm going to use the mole ratio between nickel phosphide, which is what I was given, and iridium, which is what I'm trying to find. So you can see in the next step I have added the mole ratio, and I've made sure to set it up so that moles of nickel phosphide will cancel out. Continuing with my dimensional analysis, now I'm going to convert from moles of iridium to grams of iridium because the question asked me for grams. So I go to my periodic table and I find the molar mass of iridium is 192.2 grams, and I'm going to put that in as my final conversion factor. Now, before I calculate, I'm going to go through and I'm going to make sure that the units cancel out on everything except my final item. And so I end up with the units of grams of iridium, which is what I was trying to find. Now I'm ready to calculate. And I'm going to multiply 465 times 1 times 2 times 192.2, and then divide that by 238.01. Okay? If I do that and I don't round my answer, I get 751.002059. So the last thing I'm going to do is to round my answer to the correct number of significant figures, which in this case is 3 significant figures, and I'm going to label it with the correct units. So my final answer is 751 grams of iridium. I hope these steps help you understand how to solve these problems. The last thing we want to look at is a diagram called the mole island diagram. And if you look at this from the left side to the right side, on the left you can see your given information could be in mass, or in volume, or in the number of particles. All 3 of those can then be converted to moles of our first substance, called substance A here. Then I'm going to use my coefficients from the balanced equation to convert to moles of substance B, which would be the blue dots. And then I can take those moles and I can then convert it to either a mass, a volume, or a number of particles, whichever is asked for in the question. So this diagram may help you remember what the process is that you have to go through to solve a problem. Thanks for watching.